Hey everybody, MusicTherapyLaz here, trying to get a good view. There we go. Heading across the San Mateo-Hayward Bridge here, doing my makeup VEDA for one of the several VEDAs I missed over the last week. Probably missed 2 or 3. Just busy time, and so I'm heading across the San Mateo-Hayward Bridge. The San Mateo Bridge over the bay, the San Francisco Bay, heading toward Hayward. So I've got the phone camera thing, whatever, set up on its proper little tripod-y thing here, so all safe driving going on here, nothing dangerous. And yeah, you can see up ahead, I don't know how well you can see, I can zoom in on it a little bit maybe. You can see up ahead there that you can hardly see the other side of the bay because of the fog. But it's not fog, it is actually fire smoke. It's all like a smog. Smoky fog, smog. I guess that's where the name came from. So yeah, I'm heading into that, unfortunately, which is really, really poor air quality. So let me give you guys a better view of the bay here. So yeah, you can't really see much. Just past this little white truck here on the right, there's a set of hills there called the Coyote Hills. Used to go mountain biking there a few times. Didn't go that often. I didn't have the fully suspended bike like some of my friends had back then. I couldn't afford to buy like some $2,000 bicycle. I mean, I like doing it and all, but not that much. Rather buy a guitar or keyboard or whatever. So yeah, I poured a lot of money into the studio back then in the 90s. When I was in my 30s. Anyway, my late 20s and 30s. So yeah, makeup VEDA, day 19, making it up for day whatever I missed. Probably missed a few, like I said. Planning to do my live stream tonight when I get home. What time is it? It's 5 o'clock right now. It's about 5:18, 5:20. So I'll be home in well enough time to do that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in the Delta Labs MD1, the Metal Distortion 1 pedal that I got from Krelbar. So Krelbar, one of the awesome community members of YouTube, music, guitar, gear related community member anyway. I guess we all consider ourselves members of this community, I don't know. We're part of this one crazy, kooky family of gear hoarding and gas driven guitar people, music people. GAS, if you don't know what GAS is, if you're new to the term GAS, it stands for Gear Acquisition Syndrome, which I don't know if it's a real syndrome or not. I haven't checked the DSM manual to see if it's on there, but you know what? I could look. Anyway, the DSM, that's just basically a manual that psychologists and psychologists, psychiatrists, other doctors dealing with mental health use as a way of diagnosing mental disorders, so DSM. So anyway, so that's something I learned about a little bit. Would like to finish that learning and work in that field in some way. It'd be cool. But yeah, we all have our dreams. Anyway, so this is the bay. Turn the camera thing that way all the way, so you guys can see the bay a little better. And it's not that. You can't really get a very good view of it because we're on this flat bridge here, so it doesn't go up very high. So on the other side here is Hayward and Oakland. To the south, to the right, is Fremont. And, well, part of Hayward too, and then Fremont, then into Milpitas, down into the South Bay. And, yeah, can't even see this city, or, well, the two cities from this vantage point. Normally, if it's a clear day, you can see both Oakland and San Francisco on, you know, either side of the Bay Bridge there on the bay. Can't see it in this smoggy atmosphere. I guess you can't really call it smoggy weather because it's not weather that's causing this. This is, well, kind of it is, because the brush fires that all started, I think for the most part, they were all started by the recent unusual thunderstorms that we had in the region. We don't get those normally. we very rarely do. I remember living in Colorado, it was a regular occurrence. Every afternoon there'd be a rolling right through, there'd be a thunderstorm almost every afternoon. There'd be a thunderstorm that rolled through and just kind of wreaked havoc, and it was kind of cool too. You had a little rain, it cooled things off. At the same time, the lightning was kind of cool to watch crackle across the sky. I have some fond memories of that. One particular fond memory was, I think it's for my 17th birthday. Got tickets for Journey Escape Tour and went and saw Journey with my girlfriend Sherry at the time. And I hope she's doing okay. I've always felt bad about how I ended that relationship. Not in a bad way, it's just I wanted to move on, and I realized things were changing with my family dynamic. My mom and us were moving out of the area, and there was just no way to really maintain a relationship, and I felt she deserved better. But yeah, it was heartbreaking. It was not a good breakup in that sense. I tried to do it the best I could, but it just wasn't good. So yeah, heartbreaks happen, I guess. It's part of growing up. Hope she did alright and met a good guy. So Sherry, if you're out there, I hope the best for you. And everyone else too. For all the girls I loved before, as Willie Nelson and Julio Iglesias sang. And they weren't that many either, so I was no player at all. I just fine. I digress. So driving home now, I did this appointment with my dad with his doctor, which was really good. I'm really glad that my, can't really call her my stepmother because we're already older when she and my dad got married. Ran off to Tahoe and got married. But the bottom line is that, she's having more difficulty caring for him. I was kind of waiting for this call. Eventually it's going to happen. I want to make myself available to be the guy who can kind of step in and help out if I can. So I'm glad she's letting me be involved in more decision making on that side of the fence. And I hope that, she and my dad listen to their doctors and do the right things by each other and take care of each other. It'd be nice if they would be willing to move out of that 2-level condo and move out closer to where we are, so there would be someone closer. Even the doctor was, oh my, there's nobody even closer than 45 minutes is the closest person. I'm like, yeah, and so they could sell that condo and probably live comfortably in some kind of a facility that's not like an old folks home / nursing facility, but maybe one where they have people on staff that are caregivers and that can help out with certain things. So maybe I got to start spoon feeding carefully with a little spoonful of sugar, kind of spoon feeding some ideas of some of these places. I got to start looking into what's available out nearby us, because while the market's still, up enough to where they can sell that. Oh God, what a big pothole! Come on, California, fix your potholes. Anyway, shouldn't complain. Hopefully they can. I can find something, or there can be some kind of a facility type place that's like a home that's on one level where my dad doesn't have to go up and down. Even though going up and down gives him a little exercise, the danger of him getting dizzy and falling down is a lot greater risk than, say, not getting exercise that he would be going up and down stairs on. Doesn't necessarily need that. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but look how that's smoke. So it's a blue sky, man. If you look up, it's a blue sky, but that's just plain old danky, gross, burning fire, trees, brush, whatever kind of smoke. So I'm heading toward Oakland here now on 880. Not the 880, but 880. I like to tease my SoCal friends. So heading toward home, Livermore. So Livermore is up through that smoke there, over the hills that you can't even see. Anyway, so yeah, my VEDA for a makeup VEDA is also a reminder VEDA that all you guys should come join me and Roxy, the little nibbler, you should call her Nibbler, the little nibbler, for our Hump Day live stream at 7 p.m. today. And believe it or not, this is the most traffic I've seen recently. I'm shocked that there's even this kind of traffic right now, but life is kind of starting to come back to normal to some degree in the Bay Area. Numbers are down in California, but you know, there's still no need to act stupid and think that we shouldn't wear masks and stuff until vaccines are available that will hopefully work and allow us to all, you know, get back to some semblance of normal life. It's not going to be easy, I don't think, because, you know, just like the flu and cold virus, the coronavirus may well have already, or may, you know, be continually mutating. Hopefully it doesn't get worse. So yeah, here we are, California highways, cruising on down. Cruising on down the road. I'm gonna go on, take this. It's not a diamond lane after that light, so I'm gonna go ahead and zip into it here. Get ahead of this crowd. So, hey, you guys, tell me what you think of that guitar that I set up. That was the first time I ever did like a complete, you know, numbers by numbers setup of a guitar, including the intonation, including I had to adjust the truss rod, I had to adjust the saddle height, I had to check the nut for its proper nut height, I you know, restrung it, of course, and there's a micro tilt adjustment available on the neck, but I didn't see a need to mess with that. It looked fine to me. Usually it's a good idea probably to give it a day or two before you start really cranking on the truss rod again, but the neck is just, you know, it's pretty straight. I have it set up pretty straight, and I have the saddle set up so that it's to spec 5/60 seconds, I think it is, or 56, 60 seconds, 50/4, 5/54 of an inch height from the bottom of each string to the top of the fret at the neck joint. So I think that would probably be about the 16th, 17th fret, somewhere like that, or 18th. Might be around there, 17th or 18th fret. So yeah, I have it set up so it's 5/64 of an inch. So the action's pretty low, I feel. Kind of, you know, I think some people have lower action. You know, Phil McKnight likes to set his up so that his action at the 12th fret is 1.25 roughly. You can check that with like a guitar pick, right? And I think that's when the first fret is capoed, I believe. Not 100% sure. Anyway, so I have it set up pretty much according to Fender spec. I adjusted the pickups to height by sound. In other words, I went by spec, and then, you know, I adjusted according to how I felt one was louder or softer than the other, or whether or not I was hearing some artifacts in some of the harmonics of the note struck, you know, in different positions on the neck. So that, you know, if you have some unusual harmonic artifacts in your strings ring, when you ring a, you know, note playing on different parts of the neck, it could be because of there being too much magnetic pull down onto, you know, toward the pickup, too much magnetic pull on the bottom of the string, right? So if the strings are too close, you know what I mean? And that's why people do things like shimming the neck and stuff like that, because sometimes you need to shim the neck to get into the right height positioning for the way you want to set up your tremolo bridge. I have a 2-point tremolo on that standard 2-point, and I have it slightly floating, so I don't have it decked. Some people like to deck them. I like to be able to pull back on it a little bit, so I don't have it completely decked. It's slightly floating, say about 1/8 of an inch. So I really like how it feels and sounds right now. But yeah, one thing for sure, those custom 54 pickups do have a little bit of single coil noise. And when I was fooling around with the HX Stomp last night, I noticed some really interesting things depending on how you have that. Oh my God, what are people doing? My God, I wish I could see up ahead of me a little better. That white truck was just like decided at the last minute to hit the brakes or whatever, and so did the guy in front of me. Anyway, so maybe don't tailgate, but people hit the brakes quickly here. But anyway, bottom line is that, yeah, the HX Stomp is really something else. I haven't gotten that deep into it. Last night was the first time I actually got deep enough into where I was setting up my own everything. So I set up my own direct amp sound with its own cabinet sound, and basically had it going into the headphones. Obviously, it's going to sound different than if you run it into the cabs. But like some of the tutorials I've been watching show, what's cool about that is that you can actually have that send your signal to both direct, like into front of house kind of PA setup, and you can also have it set up going into an amp. So you can split the signal. In other words, you have two signals going out, and you can have it going one to the front of house, or to your headphones, or to your directly into your DAW, and you can have one signal that's going to your amp, so you can listen to that and have the real feel and the sound of the amp. But I got to tell you, with the headphones on, it sounded pretty killer. I could not find a preset that I could play that song and practice that song with any happiness. You know what I mean? Any guitar. There's got to be a term for that. Is there a term for guitarist happiness, like guitappiness or something? I don't know. You gotta have that tone that makes you want to play the song, right? If it's not inspiring you to want to play, then what's the point? I couldn't find a preset on the HX Stomp that was nice enough to where I'm like, okay, yeah, I like this. So I created my own from scratch, and it was not that hard, and it was really, really cool. I actually did set it up with a compressor. I've got a really cool reverb on it, and I even have a little bit of delay on it. I think I'm going to add a little more delay, because watching some of the videos of James Calvin Wilsey playing that back in the 90s when he was playing that live, he's got a bit of a delay on that as well. Oh, Ladani's calling me, so I'm going to say goodbye and pick up the phone. Laters, y'all.